Hello, everyone. Welcome to Development Palates. I'm Aaron Loomis coming to you from the Ventura Cigar Company studio. With me today is Jiunn Liu, Seth Geis, and John McTavish. How you guys doing tonight?
Going on.
Wasabi.
Appropriate. So today we're talking about the MoyaRuiz Hand Gripper. It's a Robusto 5-inch by 52 ring gauge. Comes out of the La Zona factory in Nicaragua. Wrappers Ecuadorian Habano Oscuro. Binary filter from Nicaragua, blended by Hector Alfonso. Price point is $8.25 if you can get just one. And the release date was February of 2019. So with all that out of the way, Jiunn, what was your smoking experience like?
It was average. I thought that pretty much the whole time. It was medium plus strength, medium bodied, cedar, this burning paper note. So basically, like, imagine if you light up. I don't know if kids do this. I did it when I was a kid, but if you light up construction paper and it smells that way, it doesn't. It's not a pleasant thing. So burning paper, cedar, black pepper is basically what I got the whole time. That black pepper was just it was just stronger when you retrohale it. So finish still burning paper, cedar. That's essentially what I got the whole time I was smoking it. In terms of the construction, I thought it was pretty good. Burn was very good. Draw was very good. I didn't know this until afterwards, and I was talking to you guys over chat, but I actually cut the cigar. And apparently you could get away with it by not cutting it at all because there's the
punch. Yeah, it's got a punch. I cut it. I cut it as well.
Oh, okay. It's got the nun in the chuck, or the chug in the nun.
Yeah,
I don't know. Anyways,
yeah.
So, I will say though, I think if I remember right, my burn really fast. I think it's part of the reasons because that whatever stick that they had in there from the nunchuck was such a pretty. It was pretty thick needle in there. So, but yeah, that was it. Pretty average experience for me.
All right, Seth, how about you?
Yeah, first third opened up, delivering some peppery spice notes. There's some leather and herbal qualities, and that's about it. Medium full to full in strength. Body was just kind of up there as well, but really just lacking in a lot of complexity. Getting a second third, spice really increases. Showing some wood, leather, and earth, and there's this sour fruit flavor with it, which is very unpleasant. Medium full to full strength body. Construction, by the way, is just, it's smoking on average. I didn't cut it. I just left the little nail rod hole in it. And thing smoked fast. Smoke was just pouring out of it. That was entertaining. That's about it. Then the final third of the cigar, it's just lacking. Leather, strong spices, earth, wood. That sour, there's just sour finish, which is really unpleasant. Burn was okay. Draw was intense. So what about you, John?
Sounds like I might be breaking my streak of not being the number one scorer. I thought the first third was good. That you guys nailed it. This is kind of the classic intense Espinosa, peppery pepper bomb with some leather, but there was some chocolate. But I think the chocolate just kind of got ran over by the intensity of the pepper and the leather. Pepper did back off to medium, but that's still pretty intense for a lot of people. I enjoy it, but I think that's probably a bit much for a lot of people. There was a lot of sweetness that carried in the bottom half of the first third, and that sweetness really did a great job of balancing out that intense pepper. And then, like Seth was talking about, I think the earth kind of kicked in for me. There's baking spices, but a lot of earthiness. And then the earthiness kind of carried the middle third. Sweetness backed off, and then the earth just dropped off suddenly and was replaced with just sort of a dry cedar. So the flavor profile just lost all evolution in the middle third, like it just stalled right out. And the last third, the earth returned. So I think what Seth was getting in the middle third, I got in the last third because it was just earth dominant in the last third. Sweetness and cedar was there, but really no other flavor evolution. So middle third and last third were very average for me. In terms of burn and construction, I don't let anyone cut my cigar, and I don't care if you got a predefined hole. I cut my cigar. I'm sorry, that's just how I am. V-cut for life. V-cut for life. And as a result, the draw was very good. It was maybe 1.5 notches towards resistant, but I would say it was still in the very good zone for me. The burn was slightly uneven the first third, but that's just me, nitpicking. I think there was some issues with the wrapper burning at some point, which I had to do a touch up in the first and second third. And then there was this kind of a split developed in the final third, but it didn't seem to affect the burn or flavor profile at all. I think it was probably just humidity swings up here. So I rated the burn and construction very good. Aaron, what was your what was your experience like on the hand?
For me, it was a mix of general wood and cayenne pepper, about a half inch into light cream joins the profile. About an inch in, cream morphs into mustiness as the pepper mellows out a little bit. Wood still up front. Red Trail kind of carries that same profile going on. As the first third is wrapping up, spice is very faint, musty wood at the front. Strength is slightly below medium. Getting into the second third, kind of continues on with that musty wood and slight spice. A little further in, spice transitions over to black pepper. Red Trail is just musty wood. About an inch in, finishes carrying a really, pretty heavy on my tongue. As the third comes to a close, profile is still musty wood, light black pepper. Strength bumps up to medium. Getting to the final third, a vegetal note joins the musty wood as the pepper drops out. A little further in, mustiness picks up quite a bit. Red Trail has the musty wood with the vegetal note there as well. That's how the first cigar finishes out. Strength bumps up to slightly above medium. In regards to the burn, slightly wavy throughout. In the final third, cigar struggled staying lit. I had to do 3 relights in the final third, which was a bit of an adventure. But the draw was perfect, absolutely perfect. I did do a straight cut on it, and that worked out fantastic. So overall, Jiunn, what were your thoughts on this cigar?
Overall, it was average. It was, this is definitely gimmicky cigars. I don't know how much more gimmick you could get than this, but, regardless of the gimmick, what I seek most is a good, tasty cigar. I didn't think this was at all. It's just, I really don't like this burn. When I say burning paper, I really don't like that in a cigar. There's no place for it. Especially if a cigar has mainly that kind of a note such as this, it just kind of compounds my, dislike for it. It's not the best release from MoyaRuiz by a long shot. And I know they have a tendency to make stronger, bolder, spicier cigars, but, this is just not even close to kind of some of the better ones from before. So if they do come back in the future, I hope for another better release.
All right, Seth, overall thoughts?
Yeah, this cigar was rough, lacking in so many areas. Flavor profile was just poor. I think it was just a terrible blend. And the fact that it's a gimmicky cigar as well just made it even 10 times worse. This is like drinking Franzia red wine that's been sitting in your trunk in 90-degree weather for about 2 weeks. It's brutal.
All right, John, take us on the high road. Let's go.
I also found this average. I am going to take exception to calling it gimmicky, though, and the reason for that is I think if this was any other manufacturer, so if Espinosa, for example, had come out with the hand gripper, then I would classify this fully as gimmicky. But if you look at the history of MoyaRuiz cigars, this is what they do. This is the type of cigar that they release. They don't release boring, normal, traditional cigars in 10 count or 25 count boxes. They have Chinese finger trap, they have nunchucks, they have hand gripper. So to me, this fits perfectly within the sort of profile of what they release consistently, and as a result, I don't classify this as gimmicky, and I don't think it's gimmicky. Aaron, what was your overall thoughts?
This is the second micro blend release that we smoked this year from Smoke Inn. I thought it was another average cigar. The flavor profile was a bit unique, kind of with that cayenne pepper. I don't usually get that a lot in cigars, but overall the cigar was nothing special. Burn issues in the final third was, definitely put it on a bad ending note. And other than the packaging, I don't think there's anything really much to say about the cigar, right? I'm just not something I think any of us are going to look to smoke more of. So getting into the scores, start at the top. John, you gave it a 5.85. Jiunn, you were next at 5.50, and I gave it a 5 even, and Seth gave it a 3.73. So start out with 5.85, John.
Yeah, I figured I was going to land in the high fives. So again, I think the flavor profile is overall average. I think if you rate it on flavor profile, I think Jiunn is probably dead on. It's at the 5.5 mark. But the construction was really good. I had no issues with the burn. I had no issues with the draw, other than what I noted. So to me, it's a 5.5 on flavor, and 5.8 whatever is really as a result of construction. Jiunn?
Yeah, I mean it's an average experience overall with some pretty good burn and draw construction notes. So
Yeah, for me, it was a slightly below average flavor profile. Complete polar opposites in regards to draw and burn. One was horrible, one was great. So it gets it right there at that 5 even mark. So Seth, 3.73.
It's just brutal, man. I just couldn't get behind the cigar. I thought it was just terrible.
All right.
So it's awful bone coming out of Lizona.
Yeah.
So
Any other final thoughts on this one for you guys?
I think we're going to be uninvited from from some Espinosa parties next year. We're going to have to give Hector a lot of love.
I think we need to congratulate Arturo Fuente because they no longer have the worst microblend series smoke.
Oh. Shots fired.
There you go.
Oh,
all right.
That hurts.
If you're just catching this video on YouTube and you're not anyone that works for Espinosa, please subscribe to us. But follow us on all the social media channels, and you can catch all of these review recaps on podcasts, iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.